Alrighty, welcome to video 3. So framework and best practices for revenue optimization. In this video, I'm going to be using AOV, the company, as our example. They turn over $200 million a year, I believe. So they know what they're doing, and their marketing and digital team seem to know what they're doing. They've got a really good design on their website. Some things I disagree with how they've done things, but that's okay. That's just how it is. Where when you're turning over those kind of dollars, I'm sure they're doing A/B testing and conversion optimization and things like that. So here we go. We're going to jump back over here. Let's start with my first frameworks. So here we go. Designing for conversions. Okay. Now, what we're going to be talking about here is actually designing your store. So we're not talking about the content and everything like that. We're talking about the actual design. It's how your product pages look, how do your home pages will look, and things like that. And basically making sure that we're creating with purpose and intention behind everything that we're doing. Mobile first. Mobile is everything. Like over 90% of people that purchase from you will most likely be from mobile and experiencing your website on mobile. The problem is that most designers, and most of the time when we're designing things, we're looking at it from desktop, okay? Which is a huge problem because no one even cares about desktop. The only people who kind of go on desktop are, I guess, designers and people who are like researching hardcore about your brand. What I want to do is give you some quick tips here on mobile first. Is you can actually right click on your site and open up Inspect. Okay, so you want to go into the developer tools. That's what this is, the inspector. Cool. So you just right click, hit inspect. If you're on different browsers, there's other ways to do this, and you just want to get into the dev tools. And then there'll be a button like this one here that shrinks it down to the mobile size. Okay, and I'm just going to hit refresh just to make sure that it's actually all sized up for mobile. Cool. Now we're looking at it from mobile right now. As you can see, the site looks different. It's designed differently. It's designed for fingers to be pressing on these big collection buttons and things like that, okay? Same thing with product pages. Here we go, product page. It's just compact, easy to digest the information. If you have a look through, to be honest, I'm actually not super keen on all of this stuff that's kind of, I don't know, it's quite messy here, and like the add to cart is down a bit further. We'll talk about that a bit later. But yeah, as you can see, they've designed this site around mobile. They've perfected the mobile idea. Okay, cool. Something else to note is that a lot of brands and businesses I see, they'll have banners and things like that that don't shrink down very well to mobile. So just be careful. Like, have a look at this. A lot of brands actually design this once, they post it on their site, and then it shrinks down and it doesn't actually look good on mobile. As you can see here, they've made a different banner for mobile, which is great. It's kind of messy, but I don't know, it still looks better than as if they just shrunk down their main banner. Cool. Above the fold. What is above the fold? Basically, it's everything you can see when you first hit a page, okay? So you don't have to scroll. Anything that you have to scroll to get to is below the fold, all right? So what you want to be doing is making sure that your most important elements are visible straight away when someone hits your page. Hits the page that they're on, okay? So if I have a look here, we've got a call to action button to get to this birthday sale, it looks like, and then we've got collections up the top here, which is great. So they're really important things, they believe, that we should be looking at as soon as we hit the website, okay? Other things to look at as well is like we've got this offer, get up to 4 free gifts today, okay? So this is all above the fold, easy to digest. You don't have to go looking for any of this. And then the other thing you can do is like tease things a little bit below. So the obvious choice, why? We bring you best in class supplements. Okay, cool. So basically they've explained their brand and who they are and what they do, their unique selling proposition here. I would argue that you probably want to bring this up even more. I'm sure they do actually do this, have this up a bit higher when they aren't running this big sale. But obviously you can see right now the big sale and the shop now button is exactly where they want people to be going, okay? Something else I want to be showing you is collection pages, okay? A lot of people push all of their products down below the fold with like big banners here. Don't do it, okay? You don't want to have to make your customers scroll to find the products because you've got this big banner here and like information that people don't even really want to read, okay? That's my advice. Do not push your products down further, okay? The next thing I want you to be doing is making sure that your product pages have all of the most important things above the fold too, okay? So if we jump on our product page, if possible, rule of thumb is get your add to cart button up here. So when someone opens up the product page, you can see the add to cart button and the call to action, and bang, they can get straight to the cart, okay? That's best practice. However, all of these things are rules that are like they're best practices, but you can change them. Your business isn't going to fail because the add to cart button isn't above the fold, all right? And also sometimes you can do tests on sites and it's actually more important for customers to consume a little bit of information before they add to cart. And look, that can happen sometimes, but most of the time you want to have the add to cart and call to actions above the fold, easy to read. One thing they've got is the reviews up here, which is great. Reviews are what get the sales. And you've also got this little badge up here. I can't really read it. It's really hard to read. We'll talk about that later. But basically, yeah, get all of your information you want to smack your customer in the face with above the fold. Okay, because chances are people aren't going to go looking for it. Visual hierarchy. Basically, the way that I like to explain visual hierarchy is just making it easy for customers and people to consume the information that you're putting on your product pages, your home pages, and everywhere else, okay? Not having competing things for your attention, making sure that your eyes just want to go to the place that you want it to go. So if there's a call to action you want people to get to, don't have like a million things distracting people and getting people to read all this stuff. You just want to go, okay, well, here's a title, here's maybe a little explanation, and here's the call to action. And it's like your eyes just flow to the right places, okay? Like let's just the best way for me to explain is just show you on this site here. Now, one thing Obvi does pretty well is they do the visual hierarchy really well below the fold. Above the fold with this sale, it's kind of all over the place to me. Like I'm kind of getting a bit confused just because like if I look at this straight away, like Obvi turns 3, they want me to read that. That's great. They've got smaller headings, which are cool. I can read that. But then there's just a lot of stuff going on, like free. What's that all about? Like what's these cupcakes? Like there's just a lot of stuff competing for my attention. Then I've got these collections up the top, which is competing for my attention as well. So I'm kind of getting a little overwhelmed when I look at this straight up. If anything, like my attention's kind of getting drawn up to here more than I am to this kind of area, which is not good, I would assume, okay? But as I scroll down, you can see their visual hierarchy works really well, okay? So they've got these big, bold, nice headings that they want us to actually read. And then we've got like a good amount of space around things that, so it's easy for me to kind of digest the information as I scroll through. The pictures, these symbols are really easy to kind of match up to the wording, which is great. And as you can see here, like as the boldness decreases or the text decreases, we're probably not going to read as much. Okay, I'm guessing rarely they have anything in here that people are actually reading. They're all just looking at these headings and everything like that, and it's just a really good way to display visual hierarchy. Same thing here, shop by health goal. It's a great explanation of what's going on here, and then you can scroll through your health goals. This is great. I love this this little area here, which is great. Shop best sellers. Cool, visual hierarchy, good space, everything like that. Do you want to know where to start? Great, okay, cool. So the rest is good. The top up here, I'm kind of just getting pulled in every single direction, all right? So hopefully that makes sense and explains visual hierarchy a little bit. So the next thing I want to do is just show you a product page with visual hierarchy as well. So what these guys have done is product, imagery, a nice amount of white space around it, which is good. And then we've got just the title heading, title of the product. And then we've got like Cocoa Cereal. So it's like I guess a variant or like the flavor of that product, which is great. We got the reviews, which is cool. So this is good. Bang, 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 bang. And then we kind of like the visual hierarchy here just gets muddled up. Like there's just, everything's the same size. Nothing really stands out. And I'm kind of getting a little bit lost in this area. Okay. The next thing that jumps at me is view label, which to me, I don't know if view label is the next thing you actually want people to be clicking on and focusing on. What happens if I don't scroll too much further? Like this looks like almost like an add to cart button here, okay? Because of the contrasting colors of the white to the pink. And then we got big add to cart. So the rest of the way down, as the homepage, like the visual hierarchy, it gets a little bit messy, but it's not too bad. I like this area here. The visual hierarchy is great. It's drawing your attention to the right places. In here, I get lost a lot. Okay, cool. So visual hierarchy. Next thing is contrasting colors. Obvi does this pretty darn well. Okay, whenever they want us to do something, they make it stand out. Add to cart. Nice, bright green. Okay, pink is for like highlighting things and bold stuff. One thing I would be a little bit wary of is making this view label button so big. Like, I don't know, maybe they've done a test and everyone wants to look at the view label, but I reckon it's drawing a lot of attention to this button right here, which I probably wouldn't be wanting to do. Cool. So, yep. So just making sure that you've got contrasting colors so your buttons really stand out. I've seen a lot of stores have like having buttons that look very similar to everything else on their site. Like there's no colors. Something people talk about in conversion optimization, revenue optimization, is that certain colors drive more action. To be honest, I've done a lot of tests on this and I've talked to a lot of friends who've worked in this space, and colors don't necessarily drive too much more action. It's like very minimal, but contrasting colors do. Okay, so when you've got something that just really pops and stands out, that's what drives more action. You've just got to make sure that the driving buttons really do stand out. Okay. Now, quality pictures 5+. So I just suggest at least 5 images. We've got, these guys have got, I think they've got, they got 5. Cool. Okay, so these guys have 5 images, which is great. You want at least that much up the top here. The thing is, if you have more images, there's been studies around this. The more images you have, or like if you've got a good amount of good quality images, the more likely people are going to buy and trust you. Okay, so like these guys have gone to all this effort to create this imagery. It makes you just kind of go, well, these guys must be legit. They must be talking about. They must know what they're talking about. Cool. So that's imagery there. The next thing I'd like to point out, I don't know, quality pictures. The next thing I'd like to point out is all of these pictures here. I've actually not seen many brands do this, but it's people using the product in a fun way and putting faces next to the products and basically making the products stand out that would be kind of boring on their own. So it's like a lifestyle imagery kind of thing. Cool, which is great. I definitely recommend testing this or trying this. I haven't actually seen this on many stores, but I think they've done a great job of that. It's kind of like a subtle review for your product. Well, a really good review. All these people like our products. People only read headlines, which means you need to be careful not to shove all your really important information into just the body of all of your descriptions and everything like that. People are mainly going to hit all of the main points, scroll through and just go, yeah, this product's pretty good. And then if they're happy with how things look and after they've read all the headlines, they may dive into the actual information behind the headline. Of the examples here, if we scroll through, look at the headlines right now, there's not too much headlines going on here. But as you scroll through, they've actually hidden all of the just nitty and gritty information about their products in all of these tabs, which is crazy. Okay, so it mustn't be that important. What I can do though is if I hit on product benefits, what they've done is they haven't written an entire massive paragraph. All they've done is had dot points because they want people to consume all of them as if they're like just little headlines. Obvious super collagen support, stronger and healthy hair, glowing and radiant skin, health, nail growth. And then they've got the additional information that you're not going to read. No one's going to read all this stuff. They just don't. Okay, and then if we scroll through here, featured in. This is a headline as well. It's like featured in, and then they're not going to read into this, and you're not going to need to explain where they're featured in all of this stuff. Obvi choice. See this again. They've just broken it down into really easy to consume headlines. What are the USPs of this product? Glowing skin, luscious hair, strong nails, joint support. We're not going to read why. Glowing skin, get selfie ready with an inviolably, I can't even read it, radiant complexion, gut health, weight loss, joint support. So it's just these things that are just smacking you in the face as you're scrolling through. You're not going to read all this smaller stuff. Why are thousands of people choosing Obvi? They're not even, like, you won't even consume all of this. You're just going, why are people? It's like, obviously lots of people are. Okay, you just skim read through. And this is what most people are going to be doing. Super collagen formula. So this here, no one's going to read all the little information, but they are looking at this and going, okay, well, there's a lot of things in these products that are good. Okay, cool. So that's a good example of only reading headlines. They've also got a really good example of this on their homepage as well. So boom, they've just stuck to headlines. They haven't got a lot of information everywhere. Okay, they just want you to go, read this and then take action. Read this, take action. Grandma eye test. See this lady over here? What you don't want to do is have people doing this, okay? You want people to easily be able to read all the important stuff that you want to communicate, okay? I can't stress this enough. When I was working with 8-figure stores, one of the main things I did was just tell people, I can't read that. I can't read that. Please make it bigger. Like, I literally did that day in, day out, week in, week out. Just make things readable. If it's a little hard to read, no one will read it. I guarantee. Absolutely no one. All they're going to do is read the bigger headlines. This here is kind of hard to read, and I dare say most people won't read this. So you want to be sure that this isn't really important information. Same as all of this here. It's just a lot of jumbled up stuff. It's just hard to read. It's smaller. Okay. I'm just going to keep scrolling through, flag some more things. Everything else looks pretty good. This is really hard to read. No one's going to read that on their mobile. You got to be thinking like that. Most people are on their mobile. Everything else is pretty good. I want to show you their homepage. And this is something I kind of disagree with Obvi in what they've done with this banner is I reckon no one reads this. No one reads this. And rarely will people read this offer. Buy 2 birthday cupcakes, get 1 free. Okay, it doesn't contrast what's going on here. It's like it kind of fits in with the background. You've got this big heading, Obvi turns 3. So who cares? All right. And then you've got these free things that you can read them, but they're kind of drawing your attention away from like the actual offer, which is crazy. I'm sure they would make more money if they made this a bit louder. Okay. So the next thing is I want to scroll down. So everything else here is really easy to read. Make sure that there's good space around text that you want people to consume. And they do a good job of that. But this here, wow, I wouldn't be happy with it. And also something else I want to say is this is extremely important. Do not put text over noisy images, okay? Or like lifestyle images that have a lot going on, and then you've got this text, like white text that you can't read. It's just clashing with the pictures. Try and make sure that you've got a nice area to actually write something. So if you're going out to like take photos of your products or going out to take lifestyle images, make sure you've got enough room, like in the sky or on a shirt or something, that it's just easy to actually plant some words like shop now or like shop our bestsellers or like the USPs of your product or everything like that. Like make sure that it's really that your banners are really clear to get the message across that you want to get across. All right, cool. Hopefully I got the message across. Use white space. I said it before. These guys are using, not white, but like using nice contrasting space around things to make it easy to consume. I already said this before. All right, cool. So hopefully you got some good examples there and you can do some things to your site to make them work better. The next thing is framework is remove noise. Okay, what you want to be doing is reducing cognitive load. You can research a little bit more about this, but basically your brain can only comprehend so many things at the same time, which means we don't want a lot of competing information or competing choices that you have to make at any given moment. What we want to do is make one choice, and it's like the next step in the customer's journey. It's going to the checkout. Basically, we're just trying to get people through, buy a product, get to the checkout, clicking those buttons that get us there, okay? So what we want to be doing is killing unnecessary buttons. If you don't need 2 buttons, just have 1, okay? And then same thing with decision making. You don't want to be giving people 2 choices if you really only need to give them 1 choice, okay? Something that I would be careful to do is, let's just jump in here on the product pages. AOV has this quiz button here, which is really interesting. It's kind of fighting for your attention, and you're like, yeah, like I thought I was going to add to cart, but maybe is it right for me? It's like pulling me away from the add to cart button. It's really small, so I don't know if it pulls too many people, but I'd be inclined to test removing this and putting it somewhere else on the site. Cool. The next thing I'd say is this is competing buttons right here. View label, add to cart. The text is the same size. The button is contrasting. It makes me want to click that. So that's just like it's pulling my attention up here when I probably should have just made the entire product page around this add to cart button, in my opinion, right? So I hope that makes sense. Remove decision making if possible. Extra steps. So what you don't want to be doing is creating a website that has extra steps in it for absolutely no reason other than maybe to fulfill your own ego. Oftentimes we think we are better than everyone else for creating extra steps. It's just silly. What you want to do is get people from homepage to collections to product pages to checkout if possible. This brings me to the point, remove accept terms as a step in the process of buying. A lot of brands I see having this little tick before they get to the checkout, and I guarantee you are killing your conversion rates by having that little tick. You might have to do it in certain brands and stores. I get that. That's completely fine, but I guarantee you're killing your conversion rates if you don't have to do it. A person needs to trust that they actually know everything about your product before they get to the checkout. And when you have to click a tick button to say they've accepted the terms, what they do is it makes them go looking for the terms and like feel like, and make sure that they haven't been tricked into actually buying this product. All right. Just get rid of the accept terms button if possible. Kill unnecessary information. If it doesn't help someone make a decision to purchase, just get rid of it. There's no point. Okay. Maybe it's an ego thing again. You're just creating information and adding it for absolutely no reason. All right. Clicks away from site. So having like things like social media pop-ups or like share now kind of things on your product pages, they're just taking people away from your site. You just want to get people to click the add to cart button, okay? Or having like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok down the bottom and things like that. You want to remove as many links as you can away from the add to cart button or the shop now button to get people to that next step. Kill clicks away from site, all right? What I want to touch on is I talked about the inspect on mobile, how to do that. The other thing is using heat map tools. So something like Hotjar is these guys, basically what you can do is you can run heat maps over your website that basically allow you to see where people's mouses are going and what they're looking at, how far down the page they're scrolling, what's important to them. And this is really cool. It shows you oftentimes that people aren't getting past like one section. Okay, so what you need to be doing is making sure that everything important is above that section. And I guarantee the hottest part of your site will be the above the fold section right here. Okay, so heat maps are really cool. Often they're pretty cheap to run as well. Crazy Egg is another one, and Lucky Orange is another. I've used them all, and I think they're all pretty much the same. They're all great. They also allow you to do some A/B testing, I believe, on some of these, which is another cool thing as well. Copy that sells, or writing that sells. Copy is just another word for writing, if you didn't know that. So copy that actually has momentum behind it, or action, or some kind of reason for it to be there. It's communicating something to go somewhere. That's what you want to be using as much as possible of. How do we do that? I've got some points here. You can actually YouTube this and read books, and that you can spend an entire lifetime learning about copy that sells. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks right now that you can use. So we're going to start with selling benefits and outcomes, not features. Okay, this is a trap that a lot of people fall into, is they list all of their features of why they are so good, why their product is so good, and nobody cares. People only care about themselves. I've got it here. Remember that when you're actually writing out your product descriptions and building your pages and everything like that. No one cares about your product. They only care about them. Right? And try and write accordingly. A good example of this is like this microphone right here. One of the benefits of owning this microphone is I can communicate clearly and crisper to my audience. Nothing gets lost in translation. It picks up every single little word and little sound and everything like that. The outcome might be that your listener will be able to hear every single little thing and little sound. But the feature that does that could be like the little mechanism inside that kind of makes that work. I don't even know anything about that, and I don't care. I didn't buy it because of that feature. I bought it because of the benefits and the outcomes that I wanted when I purchased this. All right. Now, a good example of this, Obvi does this really well, their copy. If we start reading here, so super collagen protein designed to bring back youth to your hair, skin, nails, and joints. They don't talk about what does this. They just talk about the outcomes. It's going to bring back youth to your hair, skin, nails, and joints. Now, you do want to talk about your features later on and back up your benefits and outcomes, but you don't want to start with that. You want to suck people in, and people are actually going to buy the benefits and outcomes. All right. Now, if we scroll down, they start doing it really well here. So they just list all the benefits: stronger and healthy hair, glowing radiant skin, healthy nail and growth pain, blah, blah, blah. So this is all the benefits, just really crisp and clear. They do a really good job of breaking it down here as well. Luscious hair. Hair swish your way into every day with thick, beautiful tresses. I don't even know what that means. But then we've got glowing skin. Get selfie ready with an enviably radiant complexion. And joint support. Alleviate joint pain and improve overall flexibility. So that's like an outcome and your benefit. Basically there. Strong nails. Wave goodbye to brittle, weak nails. Okay. They haven't focused on how the product does this. They're just telling you what you're going to get when you actually purchase this product. Now, if we scroll down further, then they start talking about how, okay? It's all of this information here, which I'm not even going to consume. I'd buy this product and not even think about any of this stuff. I don't need to know all the things that go into it. I want to know what it's going to do for me, all right? They also hide the additional information in here too. So you can go through and basically set up your tabs accordingly as well. So put your benefits, additional information, and start backing everything up, but have your benefits first. Also, make sure you got shipping info. That's another thing I haven't mentioned yet. Make sure your shipping is nice and clear. If possible, show. Don't tell. Well, still tell, but make sure that you're showing. So I'm talking about if you've got a product that's clearly visual in how it solves a problem, actually show something happening. If you can do it and it's moving, like with a GIF or something like that, even better. So with protein, it's not as easy, but if you've got a product that's actually solving a unique physical problem, actually show that happening. Or like special unique shoelaces that tie cool in a great new way that just make life so much easier for you when you're about to go start your running, and have someone actually doing like actually doing it and making it look super visual. Visuals implant in your mind way better than just reading through text. The next thing is making the customer the hero. One of the big mistakes when we're starting out writing copy or products and building homepages and everything is we talk about ourselves so much. No one cares. I said it before. People only care about themselves. A great tip and trick to be able to write as if the customer is the hero is using more you and your and less we, our, I. Okay, so you want to put yourself in their shoes and you want to be talking to them and showing them what they're gonna get when they purchase this product. And doing this actually makes you rewrite certain sentences and paragraphs. You could write that. You could say the same thing, but say it in a your way. and it puts the customer in there, makes them feel like this product is gonna be theirs, okay? Obvi does a really good job of this. So super collagen protein designed to bring back your youth to your hair, skin, nails, and joints. If you scroll down, all of these here, so hair swish your way into every day. If we keep looking through, satisfy your cravings and curb your appetite. Don't talk about yourself. Talk about them and what they're going to get out of the product. Great source to learn from for copywriting is StoryBrand. They help you perfect your messaging and make sure that you are actually being customer focused and making them the hero. That's their thing. They're really good at that. Moving on. Using true scarcity. Timers help. If you put a timer behind something, people are way more likely to actually convert or take action. It's just proven. There's tons of studies on it. Just take my word for it. Obvi use this at their checkout. So, all right, so here's their checkout. They've got a timer. We are reserving your cart for 9 minutes and 52 seconds. Great. All right, that's gonna make, I'm sure they've done testing on that, and I'm sure it increases the conversions. When you're running a sale or when you're just running an offer, timers just help. You've got to cut off time, okay? I understand some people don't like doing it, but it just actually does help drive more conversions. Don't just run timers for the sake of it that actually are going to be fake, because you don't want returning customers to see the exact same timer that said, hey, yesterday's thing's expiring yesterday, and now it's again here today, okay, and the timer expired. Other ways you can do true scarcity is shipped today. Promise that you'll get the product out today if possible, or within the next 24 hours. So have some promises, so that makes them go, oh, I need to purchase right now to get my product shipped tomorrow or today, okay? Other way to create scarcity is just having a weekly offer that just makes people take action, okay? So it can be running ads or offers on your site every single week. Big 8-figure stores, that's what they do. They have marketing calendars. I've got this here. This is why big brands use marketing calendars, so they can have promotions that start and finish. All right, so they're making people take action because they don't want to miss what's getting offered to them today. Okay, so using weekly or monthly offers, they don't have to be big discounts, but it could be like a free product today, or a free product just this week, or a unique product that you will only ever be able to buy this month. So you've got an end to it, which is great. I don't like using fake scarcity if possible. All right, free products today. That's an awesome offer. I said it before. A great way to drive scarcity and get people to take action. Or free products this week or this month. And you can change that every single month. It doesn't devalue your brand, really. Just giving away something for free, you're adding value, okay? Not really discounting. Keep going. Increase trust with reviews, trust badges, guarantees / outcomes. Pretty self-explanatory. I think reviews are like the biggest thing that sells a product more than anything else. If you got 4,000 reviews on a product, there we go, 4,500 reviews, it's instant trust. And it makes me go, well, what am I missing out on? All these other people have bought it. I need to buy it. So you want to make your reviews loud and clear. Some people actually have their reviews like a mini review that just nails the proposition of the product above the fold here. And I've seen that work really well. These guys don't do it though. Make sure it's clickable so people can actually jump down to the reviews. So I just click that and you can see here's all the reviews. Nice and easy. Try and get imagery as much as possible. I love this here. This is reviews as well. To back up everything, if we scroll back up, we've got imagery that are basically reviews as well. Okay, so reviews are really important. Trust badges. So these here, 150K satisfied customers, it just increased trust. Money back guarantee, 30 days, secure checkout. So you're basically removing any doubt someone has or any hesitation that they think they're gonna get ripped off or anything like that. Trust badges, you don't have to do them like this. You can actually do them where they're a bit more subtle, but these guys have literally used badges. You can find other ways to do this as well. Guarantees and USPs. So if we scroll down, we can see this section here. So keto friendly, dairy free, gluten free, non-GMO, made in the USA. Super simple. It's just more things that are going to make me trust this brand. Like they actually know what they're doing and they care about their products. And their USP propositions as a brand are standing out, okay? And the bonus is comparisons, all right? There's a really clever way to build trust where you show other brands. Hopefully, you got to be careful not to get in trouble with this. Make sure that you're allowed to do it. But you can show other brands. And the way that AOV has done this, it makes them look like the obvious choice over these other brands. And if I knew this brand and AOV was the obvious choice over that brand, it's just going to make me trust them even more. Okay, if I already have used these other ones. Really subtle way to build trust, and it's really cool strategy in my opinion. Cool, that's increasing trust. All right, growing AOV. Now, this is the last thing, average order value. Basically, you want people to be adding more to their cart as they go to the checkout, increasing the revenue as much as possible, squeezing the most out of that transaction. The way we do that with upsells, cross-sells, and bundling. Pre-purchase and post-purchase are the easiest way to do it. You can just use apps that do it. Now, pre-purchase, I'll explain, is everything that happens before the purchase. And then post-purchase is after someone's checked out, you can offer them something else, that complements what they've already purchased. Now, post-purchase, be careful because I've seen a lot of people doing like spammy offers with countdown timers and everything like that kind of devalue products. Just be careful what you're actually offering and be mindful of people that are returning to your site to purchase from you next time. And also don't like devalue the products that someone just purchased, okay, by just having heavily discounted discounts on the exact same product. Just be really careful of those post-purchase setups. But pre-purchase is where I believe you make the most money if you do it well. Now, let's just have a look at AOV and how they do it. Basically, we go in here, we'll just add to cart. And their upsell is built within this cart, which is really cool. It's super unique. It works so well, and it's just incentivizing people to try and hit these different milestones. So add more to unlock this product, add more to unlock this free gift, and everything like that. So it's not super scary or devaluing to the products. And it's just easy to check out as well. So we're going through to the checkout. It's not hitting you. I do think it's a little bit overwhelming, the design, but it still works, I'm sure. And these guys know what they're doing, so that's cool. All right. Now, what apps do I choose? So this is a custom. They built this custom, so you can go pay a developer and build that custom if you want, or you can use MonsterUpsells. Ta-da! That's my app. Look, I saw a trend where brands that really knew what they were doing were building their upsells into their cart. They didn't devalue products and they were using free gifting as an awesome incentive to actually get customers to add more. And that's why I built this app. I wanted an upsell app for the Shopify Plus customers that I work with in 8-figure stores that didn't devalue the products too much, but still incentivized people to add more to their cart. Pretty easy to do. I'm not going to sell it too much, but we've got a little one-tick upsell, shipping protection. You can use other apps for this as well, but this is like an instant money maker. Pre-ticked $1.99 shipping protection as you go out through the checkout, which is amazing. And then you got add to unlock free gifts, and it just looks beautiful. It works amazing. You can set it up, design it to look good for your store. The other option is wide bundle. These guys are good at bundling things with variants on your product pages really well. It just looks really nice, and it also works well with MonsterUpsells too. So they both kind of work well and just like compound on your increasing your average order value, which is epic. Okay, apps I use for post-purchase. Look, honestly, there's a ton out there, and they're all pretty much the same. Some are more expensive, some are less expensive, but as long as you can get the point across, there's not too much difference between their outcome, because Shopify is making everyone kind of build the same kind of themes and structures to their post-purchase landing pages and everything like that. So just choose what's right for you. Let's recap: visual hierarchy, remove the noise, copy that sells, use scarcity, build trust, and grow AOV. You do all of that, boom, you've made some extra revenue. All right, cool. How do you implement some of these changes? I know not everything can be implemented easily. Sometimes you need like some custom development and everything like that. First thing you can do is use your store editor in your theme, so you can go to customize in your themes and move things around and everything like that. If you're not too comfortable with that, pay someone to do it. What I like to do if there's any custom work is use Hey Carson. These guys here, and they know what they're doing when it comes to Shopify. The other option is hiring freelancers on Upwork. So that's how you want to implement the changes. You can just try and do it yourself if you want. A lot of the stuff you can just YouTube how to move and change stuff in your store editor of Shopify. All right, and that's my frameworks and best practices. I hope you got a whole heap of tips in there. I'll see you in the next video where I'm gonna actually be using all of this to help optimize a whole heap of my community stores that are from Monster Upsells community. See you in the next video.